So we've had a few, man, because right around that time it was popping again. It was breaking was like bubbling big, right? So a lot of people were getting into it. So a lot of crews from our scene that are still around, all were starting around the same time. So we rivaled a lot of different crews because we were all right around the same like time and maturity within the dance. And so our first rival was probably a crew here from here, actually, in Indiana called.
Which kind of leads me into my next question is, we're talking about an era that, for all intents and purposes, seems to be on life support. And talking about this crew era, right? And it's being replaced with, the smaller numbers, ones, twos, and threes, right? What are some of your like favorite moments or your most memorable moments from that era when it was more about the crew on the crew? You know what I'm saying? And those kind of rivalries.
Yeah, man. For me, it was actually going to the jams. Like it wasn't even real. Like the jams are great, and the ciphers are great, and I love competing against other people and just sharing with other people. But to me, it was like traveling with my best friends wherever we wanted in a packed little car with all of our stuff, and then having to bum around for a hotel room or a couch to stay on. Like those times to me are like, those are more important. Those are the ones that are going to like stick with me as I go throughout all this, because the ciphers continue, right? The battles continue. We're still on it. So for me, that was the biggest thing, was all of those times actually getting to travel with my crew, and the time spent and the memories spent with my crew. Those were definitely the ones that I hold closest to my heart when I'll look back on this. As far as like competitions and ciphers themselves, we've had a few different ones, man. The first time we went to Minnesota was really cool because it was right around that time, like Wealthy and Boogie B and those guys were starting to build a name up for themselves. And we had to go, and we spent like a week there because we had like 2 shows in between the week, and then there were 2 battles on the 2 weekends. And so we got to stay in the city and we sessioned a little bit, and we just kind of like, we rolled up to a session. I think they had posted that there was a session on like a forum, right? Like 3 months ago, or like, this is the schedule for our open session. And so our squad just kind of rolled up on their open session, and it was like Boogie B and this dude Minzy, and things were cool the whole time. Like we were cordial. And then we got outside and they were like, dog, come on, yo, we can't not battle, and it's freezing cold, bro. It was freezing cold. We were all just done sessioning, and we was waiting, you know what I mean? We figured something was like, this was gonna go down. And so we just stayed outside, and we was all in shorts, and there was no music, and you could see our breath. It was like negative. It was not negative, but it was close to negative degrees, because it was like ice cold. And we just battled out on the concrete for like 30 minutes, and like, wow, it was like those, and it was just Minzy and Boogie B, and it was like 6 of our squad, so it was like 2 on 6 the whole time, and they held it down, man. It was those times.
Shout out to them.
Like you build, shout out to them for sure. But you build that respect in those like random moments, and like, so certain things like that a lot of the times are the ones that will stick out with me more than the actual jams, because we go to jams and ciphers, and that it's not that it becomes redundant, but it's that you kind of know what to expect. When you go and you're that active, and when you're in that season, you see the same people, you're training with sometimes the same people, sometimes you're seeing them weekend to weekend. So the growth isn't as exponential in between those times. So it's not as surprising what that person is bringing, or it's not as like, you don't have that like, that element of surprise, or that first time, that genuine reaction to what's going on in the cipher, because you've seen it so often. You become kind of like, I don't know, you become kind of not, what's the word I'm looking for? Immune to it, you just know what you're gonna see.
Yeah, you become, I don't want to say numb to it, but yeah, immune is good. Yeah.
Yeah.
No doubt.
That part to us has always been extremely important, right? To me personally, it's the most important, because we want this thing to live on. We want the legacy of what breaking is going to go so far beyond it. And if we have to be able to tell the story, and we have to be able to tell the story correctly,
For more quality content from Beyond the Cypher with Illskillz, don't forget to press the like and subscribe buttons. Also, feel free to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Beyond the Cypher. Let us know how we're doing in the comment section. And to make sure you don't miss anything from the channel, smash that notification bell. We appreciate the love and support. Peace. Until the next episode.